E bentornati in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, dove ti chiederanno qual è la tua ora preferita della giornata. Ti ho ridato l'orario esatto in realtà. Soprattutto io lo so quanto ti piace impostare l'orario esatto. Ok, ora sono curioso di sapere quanto sono davvero le 8:59. Usiamo un altro cursore scorrevole per scoprirlo. Quanto sono attendibili? Molto attendibili. Era l'orario vero. Sai, posso dire che al di là della precisione dell'ora mi sto divertendo un sacco a settare queste impostazioni. Sento che sto imparando di più su di te e su come ti piace che le cose siano impostate. È bello raccogliere dati. Quanto vorrei avere più cursori scorrevoli, quelli che ci sono lì, abbiamo già visti tutti. Forse posso inventare nuovi cursori per raccogliere altri dati su di te. Non dovrebbe essere troppo difficile, ma sì. Fammene mettere su qualcuno. Dovrebbe essere tutto pronto per la prossima volta che carichi il gioco. Ma come? Ma perché? Dai, torniamo. The end is never the end, ovviamente, come al solito.
This is the story. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Ma non ci
Perhaps he had
penso
simply
nemmeno.
missed a memo.
Non ci penso New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean? New
content.
content.
Non lo so, ma c'è new content comunque. Dai. Dai, sulle giostre! Me l'ha portato sulle giostre. C'è del nuovo content.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Yeah.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Anche per
The
console.
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands
Bello,
the
glieli
world of the
iniettano
Stanley
proprio.
Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Eccolo.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Chissà che cosa c'è, chissà che cosa c'è.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing
Allora,
special
l'ascensore
yet,
che
but
prima
I'm
non c'era.
sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Ma forse no. Ehi.
Is it
Non c'è i
broken?
tasti.
What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or oh, here we
sì.
go.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready.
Beh, già
Let's
nella
do
prima
it.
puntata abbiamo visto che eravamo dentro Rocket League, eravamo infilati dentro Firewatch, cose che non
I have
c'erano
to
nello
say,
Stanley
initial
Parable
impressions
normale.
of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley.
Dai! Ma è tutto vuoto. The Jump Circle.
All right, let's see it's
Come salti
the jump
rimanenti.
circle.
Oh, possiamo saltare! Ehi, prima non si poteva saltare! Ma li finiamo davvero? Ah,
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content.
no,
There has to
voglio
be
fare,
something
voglio
else,
saltare,
right?
voglio saltare. Ma posso saltare solo lì. Solo qui si può saltare. Nel resto del gioco no. Voglio sbloccare il salto permanente. Secondo me si sblocca facendo questi salti qui, perché sennò non ha senso. Sta stancando sempre di più. O sono io che mi sto stancando sempre di più? Dai. Non salta più. Semplicemente non salta più. Non ci posso credere. Tutto qui. Ehi! Ma che veramente? Ma dai.
Goodness, another elevator.
Identico a
Stanley,
quello di prima.
I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for
È un
exciting
punto di
new
partenza,
content?
caro mio.
If this is new
Salti e
content, then I
ascensori.
could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the
20
books.
ore in più
The
di
Stanley
contenuto.
Parable Ultra Deluxe Now with over 1,000
Ognuno
hours
delle quali è
of
un
new content.
ascensore.
And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes.
Ok, nuovo
I
content.
knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Ok. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Grazie per esserti divertito con il nuovo
That's
content.
it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see,
Non
Stanley?
posso neanche
This is
saltare,
what
questa è la cosa
happens
peggiore.
when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason
Esatto,
other than
questo
to
è
make
perché
an
ci
easy
maltrattano.
dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What
come?
quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Ma come?
It's my fault, Stanley.
Sì, è
I
colpa
built
tua.
up too much anticipation around the new content.
E non
I'm
posso
afraid.
saltare.
It could
Voglio
never have lived
saltare.
up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset
Strano.
the game and
Vai,
we'll try to
resetta,
get
vai.
back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
Va bene.
No frills, no gimmicks.
Ok.
Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Certo, ci siamo sempre
What do
divertiti,
you say,
narratore.
friend?
Vai. Ti dico di sì, ma non so come fare a dirti di sì. The end is never the end, qui, quindi... Ok, 427, il nostro ufficio. È sempre stato così. Mi sembrava girato diversamente. Vabbè, ma è diverso ora. Ehi, è tutto diverso. Dove siamo? Questo è quello che mi aspettavo, non questo. Dove mi avete portato? Dov'è la mappa? C'è una mappa. Non l'hanno messa.
Psst. Stanley, come over here.
Sì che ci
In
vado.
the vent. I want to show you something.
Fammela vedere. Ora cadiamo e the end is never the end. Lo sapevo tanto. Caricamenti molto rapidi, quindi...
Okay, you remember how cheap and
possono lasciare.
unsatisfying the new ultra deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just
Inizio di
our
The
little
Ring.
secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone.
Wow.
It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Ah, quello
You see,
originale del
Stanley,
2013.
doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of
quello
2013 when the
vecchio.
game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity.
Però hanno
Back
vinto.
then, it all meant something.
2013, l'orario,
waste.
ma soprattutto l'anno. E addirittura nel televisore vecchio. Questa è la demo. Che ho giocato, fra l'altro, quindi quanto sono vecchio? Sto parlando di 9 anni fa. E forse per quanto riguarda la demo anche di più. E ricordo che ho giocato anche quella. Oh no, povero piccolo Stanley, era il criceto che non c'è più. Possiamo mettere qua?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that,
gran cosa,
Stanley?
Stanley
Every
Parable.
game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was.
Vuoi metterlo con
It was
l'Ultra
literally
Deluxe?
every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them.
Era
And
tutto,
now,
era.
it's nothing.
Ma non è vero.
It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore.
Ma perché
It's just
ho
a
preso una via
husk
traversa,
now.
narratore, non te la fa
Lifeless
prendere male.
husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Ma sì, il nuovo elevator content è molto bello. Memory Zone Maintenance. Non me l'apre. Che peccato. Stanley Parable. Oh, le due porte. Person of the Year. Cioè come hanno creato il gioco. La porta rossa e la porta blu.
Here's another moving passage, this time
Ma
from
l'hanno messi veramente?
GameStop.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on
cosa
the nature of choice in games,
autocelebrativa,
and one that
bestia,
offers some
proprio.
of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've
Con le
ever been
citazioni anche,
confronted
lì
with in a
lì c'era
game. 9
le
out of
ending.
10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game
Source
was
SDK,
perfect.
il motore
It
grafico
didn't
di
need
Alpha
anything
2.
else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Come ci arrivo di là? The Serious Room 2013. Come ci arrivo però? È aperta, ma se non posso saltare... Posso arrivare?
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Le brutte recensioni?
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Ci saranno
Surely
gente che
these
si
reviews
lamenta
were
di qualunque
glowing as
cosa.
well, weren't they?
Ma sì che erano entusiaste, porca troia.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play
Che
this
bello,
game before
prendere
completion.
gente che ha
The
scritto una
narrator is
recensione e
obnoxious
buttarla in un
and
gioco.
funny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than
Il
entertaining.
narratore è fastidioso e non è divertente.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick
Da
them.
apprezzare. C'è qualcuno che non lo trova bello. Soprattutto ogni volta che uno lo gioca è diverso. Sempre. Ecco un'altra.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the
Molto
game is
ripetitivo e
good,
noioso. Bene.
for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
No!
You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is
Beh,
actually
sì,
quite
un
shocking for
pochino
me.
la predica la
I
fai,
always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to.
Ti piaceva
These black
tenerti le
marks on my
recensioni di
otherwise
GameSpot
unimpeachable track
e
record.
di Extrudoid.
I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this
9
one
ore e
say?
8, quindi questo se l'è giocato e come.
You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded
Patronizing
explanations
voice,
of what's
droning.
happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto.
La
I
mega
do
diga.
anything for the
Che
customers.
Dio la benedica.
Yes, a skip button we shall have.
E dov'è il bottone di skip? Eccolo.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they...
Oh madonna.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue for...
E poi glielo rischiaccio di nuovo.
Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you?
No,
But
ora ti lo
that's the
schiaccio di
power
nuovo.
of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption...
C'ha un cooldown.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer.
Sì,
That
sì,
last
non ti
one
voglio più
was-
sentire parlare.
I want to say maybe 30, 45 Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Ma quanto avevi da parlare,
You've just been
narratore?
frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're...
Ora cambia le stagioni. Morta la pianta a casa.
You're back. Oh my
Sono
goodness.
rotte le
I
luci.
have someone to talk
È
to
morta la
again.
pianta.
Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
Sarà incenerita la pianta. Dove siamo? Il buio più totale.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much
La porta
time.
vince più.
I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for
No,
you.
non me lo descrivere, non me lo descrivere. Schippa, schippa. Si è zitto, è andato via. Il narratore è morto. Che è successo? Si è rotto anche il bottone. Questo suono. Un suono strano. C'è una telecamera, non so se c'è sempre sta. No, forse uno sprinkler per il fumo. Boh. Ok. E l'orologio è caduto. Finite le pile forse di quell'allarme.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us.
Facci
It wasn't
divertì.
enough. They had to leave
Facci
a
ride.
pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As
Vabbè,
though
però
there
non
were
è
no
solo
consequences for
la
a lack
quantità
of
di cose,
cohesion in
ma anche
one's
cosa
assessment
dici.
of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get.
Basta, basta. Devi stare zitto, narratore. Hai ripreso a parlare troppo. Non se ne esce più, eh. Ho capito c'è lo skip button, ma... Non se ne esce più. Ehi? Narratorio?
The end is never the end, is never
È
the
impazzito!
end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the
La fine non è
end,
mai
is
la
never
fine.
the end, is never the
Ed è
end,
impazzito.
is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never...
Basta, basta. Il mattino all'oro in bocca, è la citazione di Shining, praticamente, di End is Never the End ripetuto. Ok? E mo? Oh, Christensen. Oh là là. C'è una falla. Il mondo sta andando a rotoli. E tutto questo per cosa? Perché ho skippato dei dialoghi. Mi volete incolpare di cose di cui non ho colpa. Qualcuno mi tiri fuori da qui. Il narratore non c'è più. Narratore, dove sei? Narratore? Ehi! Oh, è uscita una vegetazione. Credo che al prossimo riavvio potrò uscire tramite rampicanti. Me lo immagino così. No, è rimorto tutto di nuovo. Ma come? Ma perché? Perlomeno era bello, c'era il sole, c'erano le piante, era un posto bello. Che succede? Ora, questa parte onestamente l'hanno fatta un po' troppo lunga, eh. Anche sì, un po' lunghetta è. Quindi o sto scazzando io qualcosa, o come credo, in realtà è così, punto. Ok, si è rotto anche il bottone, si è aperto un buco. Ok, dobbiamo uscire finalmente. Ah, ovviamente siamo accecati perché sono millenni e non vedevamo la luce e il sole ci acceca. Siamo nel deserto, tra l'altro, nel niente. Ma non doveva essere la vita d'ufficio di Stanley, questo gioco. Cosa è successo? Un punto di riferimento oltre a quello, niente? Nada? No, verso le nuvole? Verso questa tempesta imminente? Narratore? Narratore? Ehi, narratore? Narratore, dimmi qualcosa! Fammi capire che ci sei, dove sei e perché ci sei. Oh madonna. The end is never the end. Il mio prezioso ufficio! Il mio ufficio, bellissimo ufficio.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content. Ok.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Ok. Adesso c'è new content, no, non quell'altro. Mica pizza e fichi, adesso tanta roba, Questo gioco è programmato in una maniera talmente sublime. Addirittura l'ascensore. Trovasse il modo di andare di là, a quella porta. Come ci possa arrivare? Non ci posso arrivare. Che peccato. Andiamo all'ascensore allora.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
La Madonna!
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Investor Showcase c'è anche, quindi la dimostrazione per gli investitori. The end is never the end again. Bello. 427, va ganzo.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean?
Taste the sequel.
But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Ma cosa dici, narratore? Cosa stai blaterando? They are back, two doors. Sono tornate le due porte. New content is out. New content part 2. Ok. Ci saranno sicuramente gli easter egg da trovare a giro che ti spoilerano roba del dopo. Perché c'è due piante? Vabbè. Stanley Parable 2. Tutti i vari loghi possibili.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
New features. Ok, come faccio a vederle? L'autobus, new content. Ok. 2. Che meraviglia.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
No, il tasto che dice il nome del giocatore in game. No, provarlo instant.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful? Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name
come?
Jim.
Ma io non sono Jim.
But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature.
Culo, sono Jim.
Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Okay.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim,
perché mi deve rovinare la vita anche fittizia che ho il mondo?
Watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Ma perché?
Do you feel it deeply? Are you
Sono
really
molto Jim
truly
adesso.
Jim right now?
Assolutamente.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Ok, io mi chiamo Jim e lui mi dirà il mio nome. Wow.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you.
Hey!
The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Ancora.
It
Wow.
hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the
Assolutamente,
buy.
cioè se avessi un
Let's
tasto
take
che
a
dice il
break
mio
from the
nome.
Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much
Too much Jim.
I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise,
No,
soon
no.
you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Oh no, il bottone Jim si è rotto. Ora si è riaperto un portone giù, perché quando si chiude una porta si apre un portone. E quindi torniamo.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of
Dice
finishing
tutto
this
nuovo.
feature.
Red is the new orange. Oh mamma. Allora, ci abbiamo cerchio del salto, l'abbiamo già fatto. Buco infinito, il pulsante che dice il nome del giocatore. New easy achievement. I can't believe it's that simple. I collezionabili, no, ma ciao. Sono pazzi furiosi proprio. Sono veramente dei pazzi furiosi. Quindi se vado di qua.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
Sì, no, ma ora non voglio la
we'll
fine.
go at the end of the well, we'll figure that out later.
Dopo. Please no screenshots. Fantastico.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm
sono orribili
undecided
tutte e
on
due.
Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday.
rimettiti prima o
Which
poi
would
è
you
bello.
go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
Ma hai scelto
Happy
gli altri.
12th birthday, step-niece it is.
Ma dai. Io l'altra avevo scelto. Uff.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on. You know what? Let's
possiamo
bring the
saltare
jump
perché li abbiamo
circle
usati
back
tutti.
for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw
Collezionabili,
the jump
achievement
circle.
gratis e buco infinito. No,
Oh,
collezionabili.
well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Oh mamma.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them
A sapere il
and then
culo
you
di tutti i
move the
videogiochi
hell on with
attuali.
your unremarkable life.
Eso! 1 di 6, grande. Fantastico, adesso abbiamo collezionato. Mi ha già riportato di qua, che bello. Dov'è il buco
God, it
infinito?
really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for
Ma
it.
c'è anche la mappa.
Absolutely tragic.
Dov'è il buco infinito? Jump Circle, this map free achievement. Il bottone che dice il tuo nome. Andiamo verso il free achievement, dai. Geniale, il buco è di là. Pull the lever, receive your achievement. Oh, fantastico.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, your cup... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel.
Ma no.
To at last satisfy the hordes
prendono
of
per il culo
ravenous
fino a
fans
sotto,
all over the
meraviglioso.
world who have been
fanno bene
uproariously
a questa
demanding
gente.
this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I
Grazie,
promise it will
ok.
happen.
Ci crediamo, noi siamo bilivanti. Buco
What else?
infinito.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Buco infinito. Buco infinito. Gli schemi sullo spazio-tempo. Buco
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm
infinito.
truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right, infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Quindi mi ci devo buttare se non mi crolla addosso il no. Ok.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so.
Yeah.
Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Ok. Sarà davvero infinito?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Sarebbe troppo
Maybe do it
semplice.
on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
E se poi non è infinito davvero? E se ha una fine?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
Ah, ecco.
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Eccoci, lo
Okay,
sapevo.
well, good for you. You found the
Io lo
bottom of the
sapevo.
hole. You
E ora?
found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
No, no, il problema sei te. E mi dici una cosa che non è vera.
Things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
Aprimi la porta,
Why
dai.
don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly?
O anche molto profondo potrebbero
If that works
chiamarlo.
for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Oppure rimango qua e... C'era una mattonella diversa? New mug. Ok, c'è un meeting. Every pause button is in Roman numeral 2. Just the two of us, we can make just the two of us. La canzone. Ok. Se ne esce da qui, davvero? No, io volevo riuscire a uscire da qui da me, devo premere il tasto del teleport. Un 2-3 stella?
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the
Se mi
sequel. Oh,
ributto?
for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of...
È lo stesso di prima?
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
Sì,
I
mi è
couldn't help
sembrato
but
molto
feel
più
like you
corto.
spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole.
Però è molto più
I
corto.
didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Assolutamente
Had
sì.
enough? I'm
No.
positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
Vero?
I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the whole
Arriveremo al punto in cui si vede
even by
direttamente
the
da
lax
sopra.
overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is.
Oh, Madonna.
The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, how is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the
Dai.
itch. Oh.
Devo premere
who
G
am I
per
to
teletrasportarmi
judge?
perché non riesco a
You just
saltare.
do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Non funziona.
Is the teleport button not working?
No?
You sure?
Sì.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an
E ora non
explanation.
funziona.
It was working just a minute. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix
Sì,
this.
fai qualcosa.
I'm out. Goodbye,
No,
Stanley.
come andarmene?
You couldn't
Oh.
bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else.
No, voglio
Take
uscire.
care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of it.
No, dove te ne vai? Mostly Infinite World. Mostly Infinite Hall. Dai. Voglio uscire. Come si fa? Ehi. Sta arrivando qualcuno. Ehi. Ehi. Scendendo. Ah ah ah. Dove arriviamo? Diventa davvero il buco infinito? All'insaputa del narratore? No. Vediamo stelle per la prima volta per bene. Cambiato percezione, sì, F. Cambia la musica, cambia. Che cos'è? Cambia la realtà. Ma che cosa? È la follia più totale. La roba da schizzati. Quanto sono malati di mente. Cambia ciò che sei. Ma ciao. Cosa sono? Sono diventato delle urne. No, sono io a testa all'ingiù. Dio gigante. Malati, malati. Stavano malati. Error. Mamma mia se sono malati. Mamma mia. Mi ciclerò velocemente tu.
Stanley! Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there.
Ok,
drifting
mi ero
away
solo
into dreamland.
addormentato.
But we can't have that, Stanley. Because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up
fammi
to
uscire!
keep you really truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many,
Ma
many
non è
years
vero, basta
here
mi
in
fai
this
fare sto
hole.
scalino!
And I'm looking forward to all of them.
No, voglio
Stay alert,
uscire.
Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Fammi uscire. Voglio uscire. Mi sono infilato in un cul-de-sac. Di nuovo, aiuto, aiuto. Ho premuto H, è successo qualcosa. Attenzione, the end is never the end, ma potrebbe esserlo. Siamo tornati a The Stanley Parable 2, direi che si può interrompere qui questa puntata. Mi sono divertito un sacco e spero vi siate divertiti anche voi. Mettete un like, commentate, condividete e soprattutto iscrivetevi al canale e mettete anche il tasto della campanella. Ci vediamo al prossimo video. Ciao!